A heartwarming homecoming this morning at Sawyer International Airport. It was for the 1430th Engineer Company of the Michigan National Guard. They were on their way home from a year-long deployment in the war zone in Afghanistan. The unit came into Sawyer and was greeted by family members and fellow servicemen and women. Kids from Sawyer Head Start program were also on hand to welcome home the troops, holding signs and waving American flags. Once on the ground, the troops boarded buses and headed for Gladstone High School for a welcome home celebration. Their motorcade was escorted by the Michigan Patriot Guard. Well, it was an emotional ride to Gladstone for the reunion with family and friends. They'd been apart for 1 year and 1 day. The ceremony unfolded in the Gladstone High School gym, and TV6's Yona Gavino was there to capture the heartwarming moment, and she joins us from our Escanaba Bureau with that part of the story. Yona?
Good evening, Steve. About 130 of the troops in the unit today are from the Negaunee and Marquette area. And earlier this morning, they received a hero's welcome. There weren't many dry eyes in the audience, and one young wife I talked to said that when her husband deployed a year ago, they'd only been married for a little over a day and a half. The feeling in the gymnasium when these soldiers marched through the doors was almost electric. They were all proud and strong from all walks of life. They'd left behind parents, children, husbands, and wives.
You can't explain that feeling either. I would be okay until I saw him in that uniform, and it's the moment that he walks away that's the moment that kills you, because you're like, okay, I'll see you later. It's very hard to deal with.
Haley Roberts was quick to embrace her husband, Kyle. In a year of marriage, she's seen him just about 2.5 weeks. He'd left after less than 2 days of being married.
Our mission, our job is, as soldiers, is to be ready to deploy. They deployed, they did their mission, and they all came home.
Amber Dreyer of Menominee couldn't be prouder of her son, Devin Odie.
I think it was a great experience, scary experience, but a good life experience, and I would hope everybody would, at one time in their life, somehow serve the United States. Okay, that's good.
Odie is looking ahead and taking with him knowledge he learned in his time away.
My last job, I worked with some electrical devices. I'm thinking about going into college to do some working on electrical equipment.
The unit's mission was vertical construction. They worked on renovations of buildings in support of other units. Officials say they won't drill for 3 months, so for now they'll be enjoying well-deserved R&R. Thankfully, Steve, there were no casualties in this unit. Many of the troops still have at least 30 days of paid leave before they have to return to their everyday jobs. The next step will be attending a reintegration process at Grand Traverse Resort at the end of January.